We're really trying to accelerate the process of drug development by enabling researchers to understand how the human will respond to a drug rather than using an animal as a surrogate.
Oh, I can't work it. No? There it is.
Minimally invasive surgery, surgery that's carried out through small incisions, can have its advantages, like fewer complications or shorter recovery times for patients. However, some surgeons prefer to use open surgery, particularly when the procedure requires fine precision and dexterity. But now robotics is helping surgeons perform minimally invasive surgery with incredible amounts of control. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Healy in Berlin, in Germany, to see how this technology is giving surgeons a helping hand. The Da Vinci surgical system is at the cutting edge of assisted robotic surgery. Surgeons from all over the world travel to Berlin's Charité Hospital to be trained in the use of the robot by Professor Jens Ruckert. So what does this robot enable you to do differently?
The real advantage is three-dimensional view, the enlarged operation field with no tremor by the hands of the surgeon, and we have the highest degree of dexterity.
So the surgeon sits separately to this and it controls these arms, and these arms are the ones that actually are doing the physical operation, as it were.
Absolutely.
So, Professor, you do teach other people how to use this machine?
Please try, it's really intuitive.
Okay, all right.
It's really intuitive.
All right, you'll have to give me a hand.
Please.
Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm literally just moving my wrist and my fingertips, and all I'm seeing is that these little crocodile clips inside are just doing exactly what I want. So if I want to go to that red little hoop there, and I can completely manipulate it and stick it on there. It's amazingly responsive. It's a bit like, it's just like having my fingers doing their own thing. It's incredibly intuitive. You said it's quite good fun.
I knew that you would enjoy it.
A procedure that Professor Ruckert specialises in, using the robot, is a thymectomy, which is the removal of the thymus gland. For patients who have myasthenia gravis, a chronic disease which causes muscle weakness, a thymectomy can dramatically reduce the symptoms. One patient due to undergo a thymectomy is 47-year-old Gabi Treuner, who has suffered from myasthenia gravis for 8 years.
Mit den Beinen bin ich viel gelaufen, bin gegangen bin und dann wurden die Beine steif oder auch manchmal weich, dass ich umgeknickt bin und nicht aufstehen konnte, die Kraft nicht hatte zu gehen.
Gabi, can you tell me how having this condition is affecting your day-to-day living?
Extrem. Also auch auf Familienleben. Weil man ist oft sehr unzufrieden und mit sich selber und ja, auch durch die Medikamente. Mein ganzes Wesen hat sich verändert.
The thymus gland sits behind the sternum in front of the heart. Traditional open surgery involves completely opening the chest to access the gland. But with the Da Vinci system, surgery to remove Gabi's thymus will include just 3 small incisions on the left side of her chest. This procedure minimises complications associated with open surgery and can result in shorter recovery time and less scarring. Good morning, Gabi. How are you feeling?
Good. Well, we are almost ready to start the operation with the robotic device. I will show you.
Okay. Professor Ruckert is scrubbed now, and he's actually going to position the instruments in the incision points that he marked in black pen. But once that's done, he will move over to the robot and not have to be scrubbed anymore. So it becomes non-sterile once he moves over to the robot. So what Professor Ruckert's doing now is actually just trying to expose the thymus gland. And he's cutting through various levels of tissue, there's fatty deposits, to expose it. And once he has, then he can start to remove it. The thymus gland plays a role in the early development of the body's immune system. But for adults like Gabi, the gland can be safely removed, with the hope that it will improve her symptoms, reduce her need for medication, and eventually lead to full remission of the disease. So that's the top area. How far down does the thymus go?
So the orange here is the lower part. Yeah.
So it's quite large. The thymus is a big gland. You can see the pumping of the heart. The thymus sort of sits very near to the heart, and that's where he's dissecting the thymus away at this point. So what's going to happen now, Professor Ruckert has actually loosened or freed up all of the thymus gland, so it's ready to be taken out, but before he does that, all the instruments need to be removed, and then the very last thing will be for the thymus gland to be removed in its entirety. Is this a standard size, would you say?
The heaviest specimen we dissected like this was about 365 grams of weight. This is heavy and larger than three times the size, yeah.
Assisted robotic surgery is already being used for a number of medical procedures, and ongoing developments in automated robotic surgery, 3D virtual reality and telesurgery means that robotics will play an increasing role in operating theatres around the world. Just 6 hours after her surgery, Gabby is recovering in the ICU ward. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
hi,
Good to
how are
see
you?
you.
How are you, Frank?
Goodness, you look well, Gabby.
Yeah.
Gabby, do you have any pain at the moment?
Nein, kaum.
Ja.
Also sehr wenig.
Ja.
Nach der OP überhaupt gar keine. Und jetzt nachmittags ein bisschen beim Atmen, aber ist nicht der Rede wert.
Ja.
Ist kaum.
Because really the only area that would be needing, what would be in discomfort would be the entry points, presumably.
Ja, ja.
How long will Gabby actually be in hospital, do
Ja.
you think?
In 2 Tagen, am Freitag können Sie nach Hause gehen.
Schon?
Ja. Ja, sehr gut, ja.
Recent developments in bionic prosthetics offer many without limbs a life-changing opportunity. And yet for most, especially those in the developing world, these advanced prosthetics are financially out of reach, leaving them with little options or nothing at all. I'm Dr. Javed Abdulmunem in Brazil to see how new open-source designs and advances in 3D printing are bringing affordable prosthetics to children all around the world. e-NABLE is an organization that gets volunteers across the world to create free prosthetic hands for children using 3D printers. Hello, Felipe.
Hi, yeah.
Javed, how are you?
How are you?
Oh my word, that is unexpected. So, did you print this?
Yes?
This is it?
Yes. Sim, eu imprimi, eu imprimi.
Yeah?
Sim. Vem comigo.
Okay.
Esse design é aberto, ele é gratuito e aberto, então as pessoas podem modificá-lo e podem imprimir para elas ou para outras pessoas.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Can you show me?
Yes.
It's full in here, Felipe, huh? And this is a 3D printer?
Sim, essa é a impressora 3D.
Okay.
Ela usa um plástico no formato de fio.
Okay.
Esse plástico entra na extrusora,
Yeah.
a extrusora derrete o plástico e desenha a peça que está no computador.
The hand works for children who are missing fingers or arms below the elbow and fits onto the remaining arm. It has no electrical parts. Instead, it uses an elastic tensioning system which allows the hand to flex and grip.
Oh, I can't work it. No? There it is.
Uma das coisas importantes que a gente faz no e-NABLE é capturar, através das fotografias, as medidas para poder imprimir. E aí cada pessoa, né, por causa das fotografias, vai ter um projeto diferente, né, que a gente vai construir no computador e vai imprimir para que elas possam ter as mãos.
Okay.
Depois disso, basta a gente enviar para a impressora para que ela comece a construir. Sim, ela começou agora. Ela começa de cima e vai descendo até que esteja no final construído o seu modelo.
Felipe, that is unbelievably cool and it seems so simple.
3D fingers are created by having successive layers of plastic laid down in the shape of the design. And this finger is actually for somebody?
Sim, esses dedos estão sendo feitos para uma menina.
Each part of the hand is printed individually, and the whole process takes Felipe about 72 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah?
It's ready. I can take it.
Yeah.
Ah. There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Bang, and there's a finger.
Yeah.
Wow.
Esse é o braço que eu tô trabalhando, tô terminando ele, pra gente entregar pra menininha amanhã, né?
For tomorrow, yeah.
A cor foi escolhida pela menina. Ela que escolheu a cor rosa com branco pro bracinho dela.
Really?
Yeah.
So the children have a choice over what they get?
Sim.
Você vai fazer isso quando?
Agora.
Agora.
Yeah.
Now. What do you do during the day?
Eu trabalho onde eu trabalho. I'm job em universidade. Eu dou aula para estudantes de engenharia.
And so I can imagine that's why you find this enjoyable. It's almost like a hobby.
Mas é um hobby para ajudar as pessoas.
Each hand costs Felipe roughly $100 in material and energy costs, which he pays for himself.
Eu economizo.
Wow, that's incredible. Modern prosthetic limbs are prohibitively expensive for most people across the world, but e-NABLE hope to make their hands accessible to all who need them. It's free for the patient. They don't pay any money.
Não, eu não pago. Os pacientes não pagam nada. Isso faz parte do princípio do voluntário e-NABLE.
So tomorrow actually will be a special day.
É muito especial porque é a primeira vez que eu vou levar alguma coisa que eu construí para uma pessoa que precisa.
The prosthetic hand will be personally delivered to a young girl in Porto Alegre. But first, Felipe will visit a young boy who received one of his hands 6 months ago to see how he's getting on with it. Felipe has never met Rafael or his family before. Hello. Oi.
Hello.
Oi. Bom dia.
Como é que você tá? Tudo bem com você? E com essa mão aqui, como é que tá esse braço? Tudo bem contigo?
Por favor, vamos entrar, com vontade.
After.
Coisa boa!
Lucas, pra gente conhecer.
How's it feel?
Rafa, e o abração, Rafa?
Deixa eu ver como é que você fica assim, tão elegante, tão bonito. Gostei de ver. Eu vi que você tá indo bem na escola, tá gostando de ir na escola com o braço. Isso é muito legal, né?
Conforme ele foi pegando mais tempo, aí a brincadeira ficou melhor, né? Fala pro tio que agora tu joga futebol com o mano, agora tu defende tudo.
Ah, é?
Tanto que eu comecei um dia, eu tava terça-feira, eu comecei a bater na parede. É, mãe?
Então, muito legal. Ele tá gasto, quer dizer que você tá aproveitando, tá usando ele bastante, né?
Simone, how did you feel when you saw the arm for the first time?
E no início...
Finalmente eu matei um mosquito.
E no início, a gente não, na primeira etapa, a gente não escreveu, porque a gente imaginou que capaz que isso pudesse acontecer com a gente, né? Isso, a atenção que eles têm com a gente, seu Felipe principalmente, sempre, cada e-mail que a gente mandava, retornava, a gente sentia o carinho, a atenção com eles.
As well as the physical benefits of having a prosthetic hand, the psychological benefits of having two hands are just as important for children.
I'm cold.
He's going out. He wants to go outside. Hey!
Yeah.
He's good.
It's good.
The open source nature of the e-NABLE designs means that engineers and designers across the world are able to modify and adapt them, so the prosthetics are always improving.
A modificação que eu faço geralmente são pequenas e que essas modificações são colocadas para todo mundo da comunidade do e-NABLE.
Cool.
Sim, todas as pessoas têm acesso a essas modificações e passam a usar os novos modelos no e-NABLE.
Okay, here we are, Felipe.
Vamos lá?
Vamos.
Oi.
Olá, oi.
Como é que você tá? Tudo bem? E a Ana Luísa tá aí?
There she is.
Oi, Ana Luísa, como é que você tá? Tudo bem com você?
Sim.
Ah, nós trouxemos uma surpresa pra você. Eu vou te mostrar já já, tá bom?
Tá.
Você vai gostar bastante, eu espero.
Tudo
Oi,
bom?
tudo bom?
Mariana.
Prazer, Mariana. Eu sou o
Mariana,
Felipe,
oi.
tudo bem?
Felipe.
Oi, Ana Luísa. Tudo bem?
Sim.
Entrar?
Ok.
É para você. Bom dia. Javid. Bom dia. Bom dia.
Tudo bem?
And how's Ana Luísa? How are you? Good?
Como você tá, Ana Luísa? Tudo bem com você? É?
And we've got a lot of family filming, look. They're all very excited. It's a big occasion. Right. Who wrapped this? Who wrapped it? Regina.
Regina.
Felipe's wife
Minha
wrapped
esposa
this.
fez questão de embrulhar de tal forma que você gostasse de receber o presente.
Go
Então,
for
meus
it.
filhos também, tá? Então aqui, esse aqui é o bracinho que vai ser um amigo seu agora.
Good.
E aí, você gostou?
Adorei. Adorei.
É?
Nem sei.
Let's fit it.
Você me ajuda? Vai ser difícil no começo, mas tenta dobrar um pouquinho só o braço. Se você dobrar um pouquinho aqui, ele vai ter a tendência de
Look at
fechar a mão para você.
Wow. Take some work.
Assim, ela vai estar usando músculos que ela normalmente não precisa usar com tanta força.
Sim.
Então, é natural ela, com o tempo, começar a conseguir fazer o movimento mais fácil.
É incrível, assim. Mais que um sonho realizado.
Aqui, ó, tem um tendão elástico que faz com que os dedos retornem. E aqui por dentro tem uma outra cordinha, que é essa aqui, que quando você dobra o braço, ela fecha. Desse jeito. Viu como é que funciona?
She's getting better at it, isn't she?
O que será que eles vão pensar? Seus amigos vão gostar, vão achar legal?
Acho que eles vão gostar.
Are they going to try and put nail varnish?
Você pode pintar, você vai poder colocar uma unha aqui, pintar a unha, você pode colar
She liked that idea. Look at her
unha
face.
aqui, pintar ela, depois descolar, vai ser muito legal. Pode sim, você vai poder enfeitar do jeito que quiser o seu braço.
Okay, she's got school tomorrow?
Amanhã ela tá na escola?
Sim, amanhã.
Yeah?
Amanhã pela manhã.
So how does it feel you've just given your first face-to-face tutorial?
É incrível.
Yeah.
Realmente é impressionante a gente fazendo tão pouco e fazendo as pessoas tão felizes.
Felipe will continue printing bigger and bigger hands for Ana Luísa as she grows up. Okay then. Nice to meet you all.
Obrigado, gente.
Meanwhile, the e-NABLE designs will continue to evolve and improve, giving more children like Raphael and Ana Luísa the confidence and capabilities that come with having this affordable prosthetic hand.
The ability of scientists to develop new drugs is hampered by the fact that testing on animals has limitations when it comes to use in humans, whilst testing in humans has the potential for dangerous side effects. But new technologies being developed around the world are now replicating human organs on chips, allowing scientists to test drugs in a safe and controlled way. I'm Dr. Goody Singh in London, England, looking at the potential for this type of bioengineering to improve the way that life-saving drugs are made.
Organs on chips replicate the tissue structures and biological function of human organs, and those being developed include lungs, hearts, kidneys, and livers. This then allows researchers a quicker and easier way to test new drugs for some of the biggest global diseases. Just outside London are CN Bio Innovations, an organisation who have created a human liver on a chip with the hope that new drugs can be found to help treat and cure liver diseases.
So the thing that's really different about this device is that we try to actually mimic the microarchitecture of the organ. This is a polymer disc, and it's got 300 small channels. The dimensions are such that when we organise liver cells into these channels, they form these sort of long donut-shaped arrangements of cells. And this is really trying to model the architecture of the liver, which is a very vascular organ. And
so there's lots of blood vessels.
Exactly, lots of blood vessels, and essentially your cells are arranged around these blood vessels. And then this device, this plate, you put 12 of these chips into the plate, and the plate enables us to flow the fluid containing various nutrients and oxygen past the cells to keep them healthy and functioning.
So the fluid simulates blood then?
Exactly.
So is that like having 12 miniature livers?
Exactly. There are 12 little organs that we can actually perform testing on. And once the chips have been inserted, the plate will then be ready for us to introduce the liver cells for the experiments.
One of the key advantages of the liver chip is that because it mimics the structure of the liver so well, the liver cells stay alive for several weeks. This means that the scientists can study in detail the impact of a new drug on the organ.
Many of the diseases of the liver or the toxic effects of drugs on the liver only build up over a number of days or weeks or months. Right. And so it's difficult to observe those types of effects or predict those types of effects if you're using a technology where the cells are only functional for a matter of hours.
After introducing a drug to the liver chip, the team can study the impact it has by performing the lab equivalent of a biopsy or a blood test. This allows them to test whether the drug is toxic or to see how successful the drug might be at treating disease. Reducing the dependency on animal testing enables Emma and her team to run a huge number of tests, gathering large quantities of data much more quickly before clinical trials begin.
So the test that we're doing here is it's like the equivalent of a biopsy, is that right, in terms of looking at a sample of tissue from the liver?
Yes, so Emma's taken one of the liver chips out of the plate in the lab, and you can see that within the scaffold there is a regular array of channels, and these are filled with liver cells. So in fact, the good news here is that the drug has had no negative effect on the cells. The cells in this image are very healthy looking.
So we're kind of bypassing the traditional route in a way because we're able to just do a lot more tests a lot more quickly.
We're really trying to accelerate the process of drug development by making it a lot more efficient, and particularly by enabling researchers to understand how the human will respond to a drug rather than using an animal as a surrogate for how a human will respond to a new medicine.
Under highly controlled lab conditions, the team are testing new drugs in the search for a cure to hepatitis B, a liver infection which kills 780,000 people annually. Hepatitis B naturally only affects humans and chimpanzees, making it very difficult for researchers to discover new medicines to treat the disease.
What we really want to be doing is to see whether you've got drugs that can actually cure things like hepatitis B. So how does that work in here? How can you look for that kind of thing?
We put the virus with the liver cells in the plates that we saw downstairs. The virus then will replicate within the cells, and we can measure how drugs affect the virus. We're really hoping there is going to be a breakthrough that will show the way to curing this virus, that will mean that patients will be able to take a treatment for maybe only a few weeks or months rather than having to live on a lifetime of medication, and that's our goal.
As well as replicating individual organs in isolation, the next hope for researchers around the world is to create models of all the major organs and to link them together to examine how the whole body responds to drugs. The hope is that this global movement could speed up the search for treatments and cures for some of the biggest diseases facing humanity today.